talented Zach Sands.
Thank you. So I've been fighting a cold for the past few days. Between the sinus pressure and the cold medicine, current conditions in my head are mostly cloudy with a chance of rain. Seems like it's always something. My doctor told me that I'm a hypochondriac. I'm worried that it might be serious. I blame the internet. Over the past few years, I've gotten very good at diagnosing myself with the worst possible ailments that I find online. You ever do this? I once convinced myself that the mosquito bite on my arm was actually elbow herpes. I started to think about who all I'd been rubbing elbows with. I also diagnosed myself with a rare form of Tourette's. It only affects me when I'm driving. I heard that the world's oldest person died the other day. I know, it's sad, right? I don't know why that keeps happening either. It's like the title is cursed or something. Last week I was driving by Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall. I decided to knock on their door and see if I could interest them in changing their religion while they're trying to eat breakfast. Personally, I think the Jehovah's Witnesses should just team up with Amway. That way if somebody's not interested in subscribing to an entirely different way of looking at the world, maybe they'll want to buy some carpet cleaner. Speaking of pyramid schemes, I don't know if you know this, but right here in Bowling Green, there are multiple branches of a cult-like organization that makes millions of dollars every year off the exploitation of child labor. It's true. So if anybody's interested, my daughter will be selling Girl Scout cookies in the spring. She's at the age where she's still losing her baby teeth, but she's starting to think that the idea of a mythical creature who wants to buy her tooth for a quarter while she sleeps is a little creepy. Before I had kids of my own, I used to think that kids were annoying and weird. Now, though, I just think that other people's kids are annoying and weird. I think every kid's got basically two kinds of toys, too. The kind that lights up and makes noise, and then there's the kind that their parents get for them. Parents just know better. You ever do the trick where you put the batteries in backwards? No, I don't know what's wrong with your singing alien robot. I guess you'll just have to use your imagination. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I learned the true meaning of Christmas. I think I'm just going to start ending all my stories that way. The other day I bought a taco that I paid for with a handful of nickels. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I learned the true meaning of Christmas. I think it works. So I live here in Bowling Green. Yeah, local comedy, folks, that's what you're paying for. We have a Waffle House here, which you don't usually see this far north. We also have an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet, which is kind of like a dairy. Last time I went there, my fortune cookie said, "You'll have violent diarrhea in 20 minutes." We also have two big boy restaurants in Bowling Green, which I have to say is a little strange for a town of this size. I can't help but wonder if there's a rivalry between them, like if one is the shitty big boy and the other is the not quite as shitty big boy. They're in fierce competition for the over 60 and sad demographic. That big boy statue over on North Main looks like he's got some bad intentions for that hamburger. Seriously, check it out. For those of you here from out of town, you should know that we also have two tattoo shops in Bowling Green, which happen to be right across the street from each other, and situated right in the middle of all the bars downtown. Because nothing goes with impaired judgment like permanent ink. I think that when people get tattoos, on the form that they have to fill out, there should be an essay question. In 500 words or less, why? If you can answer that, then fine, get a tattoo. If not, maybe you should put some more thought into this. I personally don't have any tattoos, but my best friend's got a whole bunch. When we were in college, he got this Aztec sun on his stomach, which is pretty stupid to begin with. 15 years later, he's put on some weight. Now it looks like a bowl of nachos. He moved into a new house recently. I wasn't sure what to get him for a housewarming gift, so I got him a thermostat. Last year, my wife's parents took me and my family all to Disney World. I'd never been there before, I never really wanted to go, and now I just didn't have a good excuse not to, so I went, and let me tell you, it was fucking magical. And anything you could possibly imagine, anything, well, except poor people. There were not a lot of poor people in Disney World, so I felt a little out of place. I'll remind you that I recently bought a taco that I paid for with a handful of nickels. No problems. If you've never been there before, all you really need to know is that the exit for every attraction requires that you first pass through a gift shop. This pretty much sums up the entire Disney empire. You already bought the lunchbox based on the movie, based on the ride, now come meet the characters in person! You know that shitty Winnie the Pooh ride that you just waited 45 minutes in line for? Well, here's some overpriced Chinese crap to commemorate the experience. All roads lead to Disney World, and all the rides end in a gift shop. Meanwhile, all his dads are standing around with bags of this junk, drinking $8 berries out of plastic cups like a bunch of idiots. Oh yeah, honey, that's a lot of fun. We should do this again sometime. Disney World is absolutely enormous too. It's also completely isolated from the outside world, so once you're there, you're pretty much stuck. It's kind of like it's its own little country within a country. Kind of like how the Vatican is to Italy, I guess. So I guess you could say that Disney World is like our Vatican. I'm not just saying that because the place is crawling with pedophiles either. But think about it. A multi-billion-dollar empire based on a world of fantasy, populated by cartoonish figures and funny hats. Yeah, Disney World's pretty ridiculous too. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I learned the true meaning of Christmas.